Need dinner tonight, but you don't have a lot of time? We have a delicious recipe you can make in one pan and in under 30 minutes. Suzanne Clark is here from livingacreativelife.net. She's going to show us how to make it. What are we doing?
Well, you know, this is one of my favorite go-to dinners when I'm in a hurry because we're going to also mix all of our ingredients in the pan, bake it, and serve it.
And what is it?
Well, this is going to be a Mexican chicken skillet bake.
Okay, it looks delicious right there. You're going to show us how to make it, again, all in one pan. I guess we start with chicken?
Well, actually, we're going to start with making the rice part of it first in our skillet. So we're going to start with some cream cheese, and this is the salsa variety by Challenge Butter. So it has all of our flavor in here. This is one of the reasons that this is going to be so quick and easy, is that we're going to be using this product with all the flavor.
It's already done.
Okay, so we're just going to put this in the bottom of the pan.
And it's going to melt.
Yep, and then we have to add a little bit more wet ingredients. So we're going to add our sour cream.
And are you having this on the stove right now on low?
Yes, we're going to actually put all these ingredients in here, and then we're going to put this on the stove, because just like when you make a rice dish, you know how you have to bring it up to a boil and then you simmer it? So we have to do that before we put it into the oven. Okay, so now we're also going to add 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And we're just going to add this in the pan. I know it looks funny now, but believe me, it's going to be delicious in a minute. And then we have our cup of rice, just 1 cup of rice. And now we need to add some vegetables because we're making this a complete meal. So Dusty, would you like to add the can of tomatoes? And today I'm going to use a fire roasted variety of tomato.
All right, that looks good. So you have the can, you're just going to pour
And you know,
it
they
in.
also have a kind of chilies in it, so if your family likes spicier, that's fine too.
And then I see you have beans here.
Some black beans. We're going to add the black beans right in here too.
Okay. With the juices and everything, you're not draining it.
You have that option.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do that, and now we're going to add now we're going to take this, put it on the stove. Well, first let's add some corn though.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and add the corn.
I was like, should we use it? Let's use it.
And I'm using frozen corn because I just like frozen corn, but you can use a can of corn. It's
whatever
fine.
You want.
So now I need to bring this to a boil. Okay, and once it's to a boil, then we need to add our chicken. And I have some taco seasoning here, and I like to use taco seasoning a lot for flavoring chicken. It's kind of something a little different, but when we make this Mexican dish, this really is going to add the flavor to it.
Okay, so once you bring it to a boil, then you add the chicken.
Right.
Okay, and you just set it right on top.
Just laying it right on top here. And then I have a trick that I learned from one of my friends that does a lot of Mexican cooking. Whenever she makes a rice dish, she always puts 2 layers, and I have found that this is really the secret to making some great rice. I just take a piece of tin foil and I cover it nice and tightly, and then I put my pan lid on it.
Okay.
That's a good little tip for making rice. I'm just going to put this into my oven for 25 minutes. That's all.
And you're going to pull it out. And then if you want to add crunch on top, you say there's different things you can do. You like to put cheese on top with chips.
Yeah, these are just broken up tortilla chips, and I'll put that on top of the chicken with drizzle on some butter and put it under the broiler just for a couple minutes to brown it up and give it some crunch.
And that's how you're going to get kind of this topping here, which you said is great. And then if you want to really deluxe it up, you can add more toppings.
Yes, and this is how my husband likes it. He said, oh, you have to show how to use the toppings. So just like when you go to any restaurant and they have it supreme or deluxe and they add the sour cream and the salsa, you can do that as well. And then if you want to, you can add some pieces of fresh cilantro. I always like that little freshness. I think that really makes a dish, especially when we're doing something this quick. We want to have a nice little fresh edge to it. And this is something that you'd get into a nice Mexican restaurant, and you did it in only 30 minutes.
And find the recipe online, livingacreativelife.net.